Welcome to Spirit Speaks with James Van Praagh, a pioneer of his time and one of the world's most celebrated and respected mediums of our time. Please welcome spiritual teacher, James Van Praagh.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I just love all that applause. It's just amazing. It seems like they're right here in the studio, huh, John?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny. It's so goofy. It's so cute. John, thank you very much for sharing this time with me and everybody around and who's tuning in right now.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, we are pre-recording because I am going on some spiritual journeys. So I can't physically be here, but I'm going to have some friends of mine come in who are very, very gifted mediums and numerologists to come. And this first show we're doing, everybody, of course, I handpicked everyone that's going to step in my space because I know that everybody that's watching really want to have readings and connect with spirit. And I do want to mention, a lot of you have already taken my new course, A Day in the Spirit World, where you actually can go and be with the spirit world and in your mind. And I guide you through that stage in your mind, going to a different level of consciousness and awareness. So you should try that also, by the way. So that's at the JVP School of Mystical Arts, and it's right down below. You can see the address, John, you put in there. And then, so I wanted to, while I'm away, give you some very talented people. And really, I think that this space here on this radio, or whether I do my internet stuff or Facebook stuff, it's really just a way to, for me as a forum, to open up this doorway, to expand the consciousness, and to share the space with everybody, whether it's people calling in, or if you're on Facebook, or other colleagues of mine who are mediums and who are intuitives, to share that with them. So this, and I'm going to thank you, John, for giving me that space to do that, for letting me bring in other people to the show.
Oh, we love having whoever you would like to have.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
You. Well, Michele Livingston is the first person that we're going to have tonight.
Yeah.
And Michele Livingston, how I met Michele Livingston, I do believe there are no accidents. I think everything is divinely guided and divinely led. I was literally going through an email from one person that sent me an email about how their life is very, very down and out, and they lost a lot of their family members. And they came across Michele Livingston from Pennsylvania, who they had a reading with, and it changed their lives. So I went online on YouTube and I looked at Michele Livingston, and I was so impressed with their level of detail and evidence that she came through with that I wanted to connect with her right away. I literally called her on her home number. And she said, "Is that James Van Praagh?" She goes, "Who?" I said, "James Van Praagh." She goes, "The James Van Praagh?" I said, "The James Van Praagh." And we connected really, really well. She was just a great heart. And she did a reading for me. We were together in, gosh, where the heck was it? It was, well, we did Lilydale, which she's working at, Lilydale, New York, which is a center for mediums in Lilydale, New York. But she also did a reading for me in Philadelphia when I was there. And she was so detailed about bringing my mother through. And she said to me one thing I'll never forget. She said, your mother's talking about clothespins, and the clothespins on the line on Saturdays. And it blew me away, because every Saturday I would help my mother with her laundry. And I used to take down the clothes that were dry in the clothespins, take the clothespins, put them in the basket, and bring the clothes down. So that was a good memory of my mom.
Wow.
Yeah. So Michelle's very much that way. Have you had a reading with her yet, John?
I have not, but I did get to speak to her yesterday, and we had a really good conversation. So I'm excited about her new book and all
Yes,
of
her
that
new book. Everyone should read her new book. It's very good about the afterlife. And it's really interesting about what happens in the afterlife and people's activities in the afterlife. And some of the chapters is interesting because people who are living here, there was one way they looked at them. We looked at them. They lived life in the human world. And then once they pass to the spirit, what is their life like now?
Yeah.
So very interesting book.
It is. Very interesting. I started reading through them. I think I'm in chapter 6 by now. So, yeah.
It's a fast read.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
So everybody enjoy Michele Livingston. She's a great soul sister of mine, and she's don't be nice to her, be patient. And I always say, John, with every reading, and a lot of it is educational for the person receiving. Just don't think so hard. Just be, because the more you think and the more you try, come to me, the harder it is for them to make a contact. And everybody, you know that John is a great psychic here. That he picks everybody's names and phone numbers, and he's very intuitive about. I mean, it's weird, John, how you pick the people. And if you pick Kathy again for Long Island, I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's still wild that she keeps getting through, because that's honestly, I just go to wherever I'm led to pick, and there they are. So, and we'll have thousands and thousands of calls. So that number for everybody to know is 323-649-8268. Again, 323-649-8268, and that's for a reading with Michele. And you can ask any question that you like about what's going on in the afterlife, and you can speak to a loved one that's over there, or just if you have questions about her book, feel free to ask.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't have to all be readings. It can just be questions about the
Right.
afterlife. Michelle knows very well. She's an expert in this. So you should really use her for the most optimum way you can.
Hmm.
And everybody, this is also important to understand that just because one person is getting a reading or having a question answered,
Hmm.
remember this, not just if that person, but it benefits every single person who's listening or watching this on Facebook. It really will help you in your own life as well. So use the information that is gathered from that one reading, that one question that's being answered for your own life, because that's really true. It does happen that way.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I go through and I read the comments after the show, or sometimes during the show, and it's blown away by the people who are saying, "Are you reading me? I'm not on the phone, but that sounds just exactly like my life." And and in specifics, and that you're giving these people that, like even names that apply to other people, that are listening. It's amazing. So you're
Yeah,
sort of like you're,
conditions and names.
yeah.
Today I was walking around my office and I'm thinking about a friend that just passed, and she used to sit with me all the time in development circles, and she comes through every day with all information. And today she said, "James, tell everybody that it's like a web, like a spider's web. We're all connected. We're all connected like a spider's web. Like
Hmm.
we're all connected." And that's true. So if you're reading one person and it makes sense to other people, why wouldn't it make sense? We're all connected in some way.
Hmm.
So that's why I tell people just be open and listen to what happens, because the spirit world's really in charge of what's going to be said, who's going to come through.
Yeah. And speaking of the spirit world, your meditation course, right, for having a day in the life in the spirit world, right?
Yes,
How's that going?
yes. It's going really well.
Excellent.
People are having great experiences, just learning to change your perception. And in the first exercise, it's called immersion.
Hmm.
And I have them really work with what's their sense of reality and bring it away from the body, but outside the body to the space that they're in, then go beyond like the roof of the place they're in, the house or the apartment or the building, then go into the treetops, then comes back into the body and have this sense of measuring or expanding. And it really, really works well when then they're able to go further and further with the mind to the spirit world, the beginning of the spirit world. And every single person is given a symbol on a cup when they enter the portal, which is the tunnel, the white light. So with your mind, you can go there. So that people have been having some great experiences. It's a 1 day immersion. So people that want to do that course should put one full day aside. Don't do it over
Okay.
several days. It should just be one full day they can put aside for that experience.
Excellent. And they can go to jvpschoolofmysticalarts.com.
Correct. The JVP School of MysticalArts.com. Exactly. I love the feedback from people as well. Join Michelle, and Michelle's great. I love you, Michelle. And thank you, John.
Always a pleasure, James. Thank you. All right, so let's give a big round of applause for James and Michelle. Michelle, you're with us.
Hello, John. How are
Hi.
you?
Good to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. And I thank James, my friend, for letting me host his Spirit Speaks show. When he first called me a few years ago, it was my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a
of all
wonderful
days.
present, right?
That's why I said the real James Van Praagh. But since
Reaffirming
then,
your life purpose, huh?
how about that?
Yeah, right. On your birthday. That's amazing.
Yes, it was. And we later met and we've been on stage together. But he did confirm that I'm a trance channel. And I've been doing this work for 25 years as a medium.
Uh-huh.
And so that was a revelation for me that I'm actually able to channel the personalities of the
Yeah.
souls.
And you
Each
talk a
soul-
lot about that in your book, your amazing book that you just
Yes.
wrote.
Yes, the new book. Here it is, Living in the Afterlife. And there are 33 soul stories in this book
Uh-huh.
of what the other side is like, experiences from the soul place, we call it. It's my sixth book, actually.
Wow.
And it took 4 years, John, to write it.
Wow, 4 years, because it's a collection of people you've worked with in before they passed over, right? And then they came back to
Yes.
visit you. Plus, a lot of celebrities did as
Yes.
well, right?
Yes, friends,
Uh-huh.
relatives, clients. My first soul was my mother that came through 4 years ago,
Mm.
and she was an English teacher, so I knew it was going to be a good book.
Uh-huh.
Because she always helped me with spelling and everything. But she said, "You're going to write a book on heaven, and it's the soul place, and it's a higher, faster frequency. It's with us here and now. We just can't always perceive it. Just like
Yeah.
right now, we're talking and we're on Skype and whatever. But there are frequencies everywhere, and heaven is one of them." So with her introduction to the book, the first chapter is called Dorothy's Place. That was my mother, Dorothy. With her enthusiasm about it, that's how I started. And then it was one soul after another, after another. It's quite interesting.
It really is interesting. I finished it last night and was just blown away and moved by, and it was a sense of comfort that came over me just knowing that, there is no hell. I was raised religious, so that's always been a fear for a lot of people that are raised religious, that that there's a hell. And you talk about a gray area, or an area even for folks that didn't live the best life, folks that were troubled, folks that ended up taking out their anger on other people
Well, it's interesting. If you think of an onion and you think of the core of the onion as being similar to the earth, with each frequency, it goes out and it gets higher and faster. So those that are discarnate spirits that I don't usually talk to are closer to the earth plane, which has to do with the gray area. And those that have committed crimes and done different things, we're all in God's love. But sometimes we need actually a form of rehabilitation, which you saw or you read in my book.
Right.
And there are also heavenly volunteers that come down to the gray area to help those that are sleeping or wandering around there to get to the light.
Yeah.
As we go through the portal or tunnel, this is a connecting tunnel. We travel through there sometimes very rapidly. And what's interesting in the book, each soul describes what their portal was like.
Yes.
Some are sunbows, some are beautiful amethyst colors or radiant blues and greens. So it's interesting that even though there was a common thread through the book of the portal and the reunion and soul groups and on it goes, the life review, each one had a slightly different spin on what it's like.
Yes, they did.
Even we do that here on the earth plane.
Right, right. Which it's interesting because a lot of them are validating in their own words experiences from the others as well, and I don't think they've talked to one another. So I think that's
well, maybe they have.
Maybe they have in the spirit world.
There's no time or space
that's
over
true.
there.
That's true. But it's really interesting because you bring up some really controversial subjects, and that is suicide, abortion, depression, things like that. And you talk about how the soul is rehabilitated on the other side, and it's just all about love. It's all about healing, and it may take some time, even though there's no real measurement of time over there. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, going back to your first thought of suicide, there's really no condemnation with it. It is a choice. I had a couple souls come through. One is a very famous comedian who took his life about a year ago. And sometimes I mention names, sometimes I don't. But when you read the book, you can tell by their personalities and the way they present themselves who they are. And he had no remorse about his suicide. He basically said that he was tired, that he was able to morph into other personalities, and he understood my work as a trance channel, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
We were both born in the same year.
Yeah.
But he shot straight up. He didn't go through the portal, and he wasn't in the gray area. But he says, I don't beg to differ about the gray area.
Right.
I shot straight up, and my grandmother said, what are you doing here? You have fans, you have family that love you. So that was quite interesting because it's not all gloom and doom.
Right.
It's about love. It's about light. It's about being cared for, because many times when we make transition, and I believe that we do over and over, actually, because I believe in past times, which is also in the book, but we have a reunion.
Yeah.
Pets meet us, friends that we've known, our relatives that we've loved. So we're never really alone. Now, you know that,
Right.
John.
Yeah.
They're always around us, loving us. And so suicide is an interesting subject, and that I had to cover.
Yes, and I'm glad you did, because I think it's going to give comfort to many people who've lost a loved one from suicide. So I applaud you for that. Though also what really stuck out, when I was reading the book was that it's very similar on the other side to life here, except there's no negativity. But we get to explore our passions, whatever it is that we want to create or explore there, we can, you know, and we can teach others and help other souls. So it's not like once our work is done here, it's over. We continue work on the other side. And you made that very clear in the book.
Well, we can teach.
Yeah.
Teaching is very valued in the fourth dimension or the heavenly realms, that's for sure. We can learn and study at temples of wisdom and learning. And after 25 years of doing this, I never asked souls, what are you doing over there?
Yeah.
I was just channeling for my clients.
Yes.
And so this was a big revelation for me as well. And we can, as we, I think, talked about, you did some singing, didn't you, John?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I do.
Are you do now?
I do. I'm not pursuing it professionally, but I do sing. Yeah, but it is still a dream of mine to, you know, continue eventually.
So the one chapter is about singing, dancing, entertainment.
Right.
How did you find that? Because I have a very well-known singer too who passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And she mentioned stepping into tonal frequencies, as we said.
Right.
And that we can learn with masters, and many even child prodigies bring through what they've honed from that world, from that dimension.
That's you made that clear in the book. You were talking about how when they're performing here and people are blown away by their voice, many times it's because they were doing that on the other side before incarnating here. So they've gained a lot of experience and a lot of the creation of the vocal tone from the other side and brought it to the earth. Yeah, that was powerful. And then when they return to the other side, which is our one true home, as you make clear in the book as well, they continue doing that, but we're not in body. We are using a lot of telepathy, right? And we are communicating on an energetic level.
Yes, exactly. There's no speech, there's no language, no longer the physical body is with us. So actually we speak telepathically, one to the other. We form soul groups, which I found was absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Soul groups work for a common cause, either on that side or we incarnate with them here on Earth. There are life reviews.
Yes.
So I have to laugh because people say, well, what's the life review? And I say, don't worry about it because we can never run away from ourselves. The life review basically is a hologram that's formed around us. And we observe our life from the first breath to the last, who we've loved, who we've hurt. It puts the shoe on the other foot, so to speak, and it helps us learn compassion.
Right.
So we all go through our life review, and it's a very objective look at the life that we just left.
So we're viewing from their emotional side of how they received our words or our actions, right? Is that how it works? Okay. So we feel every happiness, every sadness, every emotion, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the physical, of course, feeling, but it's the emotions. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have a review. Some souls don't want to really go through it at first, but eventually they do. And we talked about rehabilitation, which I find is fascinating.
Yeah.
There are psychologists that were very adept on Earth, and they're able to actually tutor and counsel. This may sound kind of funny, but my stepfather was a hoarder, and I never thought about that before. When he came through, he said, I want to talk about my hoarding. He had over 1 million books that
he might be trying to come through right now, actually, Michele, because it's so funny. It's interrupting your internet connection. So we have that happen, and it's interesting because it's almost as if you can see the spirit sort of stepping through or being there where you're at. It's really interesting, and that's happening right now, but it's starting to clear up a little bit, right? But I always get chills when that happens because I'm, and so as you're talking about your father, I think he's probably coming through right now.
My stepfather,
yeah.
And actually, I'm in my study with a lot of books, and that would pull his energy in.
That would make sense because it's affecting your video and your audio at this point. So.
All right, Ted, stop it. It'll clear up.
It is clearing up, yeah.
I know.
No.
He says he's sorry for doing that.
That's okay. I don't that you talked about that they do have to change their energy when they visit. And this is a big thing for them when they go to the viewing station, right? Or they can just come right down into our world.
When I do readings, the souls speaking through me, John, have to store energy,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have to lower down frequency so I can see them. I'm a visionary and an artist, so I see clairvoyantly first, then I hear them, then I feel them.
Mm-hmm.
And as they come down to talk to me, I have to go up. My soul has to go up out of my body slightly to meet them.
Yes.
So it's quite an experience to do this work, and it's I love it. I love to help people. I love to help people heal,
Uh-huh.
and I really think the book will take away the stigma of the fear of dying. A
Yeah.
lot of us, well, most of us, have a fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so, if this helps a few people, I'm happy for it.
Well, it really touched me, and I know it's going to touch a lot of people. And I'm going to put the book up again. It's Living in the Afterlife: Experiences from the Soul Place, and that's Michele Livingston. That's with one L, Michele, Livingston.com. And that's for the listeners that are listening via podcast, because this show goes on to live as an audio format as well. So we are doing a live show, folks. I know James recorded at the beginning an intro for Michele yesterday, but this is a live show, so we are going to open up the phone lines, and you can ask Michele any questions that you have about the book, any questions you have about crossing over, any psychic questions, any mediumship questions. She can answer them, and this is for anybody that wants to connect with a loved one that's on the other side, or just wants to help develop their gifts. Again, the phone number is 323-649-8268. Again, 323-649-8268. We want to thank you for being with us tonight. And Michele, whenever you're ready, we can start taking calls, because we're about 23 minutes already into the show. Can you believe how quickly
I know. I know there's no time in heaven, but this is
it flies by.
Flying by, John.
It flies by, and I know people are like, come on, get to the calls, so I can feel them tugging at me. So we are going to go. So
Sure.
let's go ahead and let's see here. Now, folks, please be patient with us. We have already received 8,000 calls, so we're trying to get to as many as we can. So let's go here, and let's go ahead and take Kathy. It's 631. Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. Hi.
How are you, Miss
Hi,
Kathy?
Michele. Hi, John.
Hi, Kathy.
Kathy.
John, I want you to tell James that wasn't very funny.
That's why I brought you on. So, he says,
Kathy,
if you...
are you a regular?
She is. And we get thousands of calls.
I love James, and I love you.
Well, thank you. I can't tell you how happy I am. You must have some very good energy, Kathy. You get through a lot.
Well, it's just, John, I just want you to tell James that really wasn't very nice.
He's totally joking with you.
I know.
Did you have a question about Michelle's book?
Yes, Michele, I just ordered your book.
Yes,
I
good.
can't wait to get your book. I was very curious
autograph it
about.
for you, Kathy.
I'm-
I'll sign it
was
for you.
very curious. Oh, thank you. I was curious about what you were going to say about suicides and abortion. So that was one of the reasons why I kind of bought your book, to see if you actually went into subjects like that.
Yes. Well, may I just tell you, Kathy, quickly about abortion? The soul chooses its parents to learn and grow with. So at any stage of development, we can retract from the mother's body, and that's a miscarriage.
Why?
Pardon?
Why though? Why?
We retract? Maybe the timing's not right to learn soul lessons. There's a myriad of different things that happen that we can retract, but we can come. We also can come back. But with abortion, it's a choice, and I like to alleviate. Ladies carry guilt for many, many years. Sometimes I have some.
Yes.
clients
Oh,
that-
I know. I do know that. Yes, I do.
And so
Yes,
hopefully
they
the
do.
book, Kathy, will help them to look in with a new perspective and release guilt about it.
Okay, here's an odd question, and then I do have a quick question. I'll let you go. Why do, you see all these horrific accidents, okay, and bad things, okay? As you know, I spoke to you several times, Michele. My son is NYPD. Why do people choose to leave in such a horrific way?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Why?
I understand that question. We soul contract a timeline to come in and learn certain soul lessons. Our conscious mind does not know we're about to make transition, Kathy, but our soul mind does. So you've heard of
Okay.
3 teenagers in a car, 2 pass on and 1 is saved. The reason the 1 is saved is the timeline was not up for that
Right.
particular
It wasn't
person.
the time.
And
Right. I was just
yes,
wondering.
go
No,
ahead.
I was just wondering why it would be such people would choose a horrific way to leave. That's what I didn't understand.
You know, many times the soul will leave before impact of a car, believe it or not. A soul may leave before an accident happens, and so there's no pain involved. We all have free choice and free will, but that's a very good question. Very good question.
You know, that bothered me. It still bothers me for a very long time. Because I'll sit here and I go, why did they choose to leave that way? I don't understand it. It's horrific.
It is
I know
horrific.
you're busy.
Stay
I
positive,
just wanted
Kathy.
to ask, what?
Yeah, stay positive, dear.
So, I will. I just have one quick question. Can you tell me anything about my husband's job?
12 to 18 months, they're shifting. Okay? Tell him
Yes.
not to worry. He's a worrier. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah,
Tell him
well,
not
we
to.
just got, yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to be okay in 12 to 18 months, my dear. So God bless, Kathy. Take care.
Thanks,
Hey,
Kathy.
John, I love you.
I love you too,
Bye,
and so does
Michelle.
James.
Bye.
Thanks, Kathy.
Bye.
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 I tell you, I have no idea how she keeps getting through, but it's amazing, and
Yes,
apparently
well, she's enthusiastic and she has very strong energy.
and it's meant to be. So there you go. All right,
meant
so
to
let's
be.
moving on to Debbie at 619. Hi, Debbie.
Yes.
Hi, Deb.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Where are you calling from?
San Diego.
Oh, great. What was your question, Deb?
I've been following James for years, and I just found out. Is this Michelle?
Yes.
Oh, I
Can
was
you
listening
see
to you
me?
online. It's
Oh,
off.
okay. I'm on Skype too.
I just heard about you today, and I'm fascinated. I can't wait to try reading your book. I've been interested in all of this stuff for a really long time, and I'd love to know anything that you can tell me about loved ones that have passed on. But my main question is, I have some really weird stuff going on in my house for the last couple of years, and my daughter and I both are affected a lot by it, and I wondered if there's any way you could tell me what's going on.
Well, is it an older home, Deb?
It was built in the 60s. It's not that old.
There's different ways to cleanse an environment. And actually, my one book, Messages from Beyond, talks about all the different ways we can do positive affirmations. If you visualize your home and think of a pure white sheet of light, Debbie, underneath the foundation before you go to sleep at night, and slowly bring that light up through the first floor, the second floor, above the roof, and take the 4 corners of the white sheet, wrap it together, and send it out into space. It raises the energy. The other thing is to do, and since you're in San Diego, you can open all the windows, let the air go through. When I say that, winter here can be brutal in Pennsylvania. So in spring and summer, open your windows and doors and let the air go through. Also cleanse your home. Clutter traps energy, and there's no room for energy to go. And I would say you could sage it with a feather. The white lighting technique is very good. I really don't feel malevolent spirits, though, there. I just feel that you're very strong and intuitive. And I think sometimes spirits are drawn to you too, Deb. I do.
I don't know. I've had things happen in other houses and stuff, but this house has really been crazy. And my daughter and I both are affected by it. I've even been touched, and it's really disturbing.
Is your father passed, Debbie?
No, he hasn't.
All right. And then I'm going to take it to paternal grandfather. There's a gentleman stepping in on the right. He calls you Little Debbie. There's a lot of love that he has for you. He wants you to watch your skin and not too much sun. Isn't that funny? I don't know if you ever were a sun worshiper, but
I never was, but I actually had a melanoma about 10 years ago.
I thought so. He said, watch the skin cancer, and I didn't want to upset you, but he's loves you very much. He has a peace flag, which is my symbol for all as well. He's very proud of you, my dear, because you've stepped into different places that some of your siblings or other people would not have. It has to do with your spiritual journey. And you should pat yourself in the back because it hasn't been easy for you. No, it has not been easy for you. But you keep moving forward, Debbie. And I like that about you. I can feel your energy. You're a good person. I can feel it.
Thank you so much. It's actually making me very emotional.
Well, I feel him very strongly, and he wants to put his arm around you. And he wants to rock you almost like you're a little girl. You need to be told it's going to be okay. And you need to be told there's a lovely little Debbie within you that we call the inner child.
She's not talking about the chocolate cake.
Oh! Hello,
Chocolate
John.
cake.
That was really funny.
The little Debbie chocolate cake.
I know. That was funny. But Debbie, I hope that helps you just a little bit. Cleanse the home, white light, and know that the grandpop is around you, okay, protecting.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
bless.
Debbie. Take care.
God bless you.
All right, so let's move on to Thomas. Let's get a man in the house here. It's a 304 from Thomas.
Hi, Tom. Thomas?
My name's Tanya.
Oh, it said Thomas on the screen. I'm sorry. Hi, Tanya. How are you?
Maybe Thomas is her spirit guide.
Maybe.
It's
No,
Kenya.
that's my last name.
Oh, okay. So it picked up your last name.
name.
Gotcha.
Hi. What's your
Hi.
question, my dear? What's your question?
My dad passed away about a year and a half ago, and I didn't have control over anything at the funeral and all, and I just want to make sure he's at peace and happy.
He's at peace. He's happy. I see him. He projects in work clothes. He doesn't want to come in a so-called monkey suit, if you know what I'm saying. He wants to look
Oh,
at
no, never.
Yeah, I know. He was a hard work.
That's how he does.
He was a hardworking man when he was on Earth.
Yes, he was.
And he tells me that he's sorry a little bit after he passed. There may have been some contention or a little bit of upheaval after he passed. Now, I don't know if he means with siblings or just in general emotionally. But he's trying to bring peace and level out the rest of the family. And who's the baby girl? He talks about baby girl, honey. Who's the youngest?
Well, my daughter has got a baby girl on the way.
Ah, well, congratulations. He has baby girl with him, and he's about to send baby girl down.
She had lost a set of twins.
Yes.
I'm not allowed to see my grandkids. She has turned against me.
Well, that's okay. Well, I'm sorry about that, but let me tell you, though. Your daddy has a baby in a pink blanket, and he wants to send it down somewhere in your family, okay? I just want to tell you that. The twins are fine. They're with a grandmother figure. She's watching out for them. And the contention part after he passed has to do with some of these rifts. Do you understand what's being said? Do you understand?
Yes.
Some of these risks that have happened. One thing is, though, you're a very determined person. And please try not to take things personally. We all go through things in life. And just keep your chin up, would you please? Would you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to move on, my dear. And honestly, I have to say, I'll keep you in my prayers. I will. God bless.
Could I ask one more question?
Okay, real quickly.
Quickly. Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry. This concerns my aunt that passed last October.
Okay.
She was cremated, and her ashes have been moved several times by her son. And I'm trying to help my mother get some peace with this. We don't know how she is or where she is.
She's fine. Your aunt is in the heavenly realms, and she's fine. The remains are being, moved, but not her soul. And
Right.
where's the initial M? I have to move on quickly. Initial M in your family.
Marilyn, my mother.
Yes. So I do have to say it's going to be okay because you mentioned your mother, and I got Ma, which could be Mary or Marilyn. Your aunt says hello, and not to worry about her remains, okay? She's in a far better place, my dear. All right? So
Okay. All right.
care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. So we have Cindy, it looks like, on the line 520, and she's asking about her psychic ability. Cindy.
Miss Cindy. Hello?
Cindy, are you there? Okay. Cindy is not there. All right. Let's see here. Let's go to Brina. Let's see. Brina from 979. Brina?
Rena?
Hello?
Hi, that's a pretty name. Verena.
Sabrina.
Sabrina. Uh-huh. I like that. Sabrina, do you have a question?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay, just listen through your telephone, not through your computer, and please mute your computer or your listening device.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm trying. Okay.
It's okay.
Sabrina?
Okay, now.
Okay, dear. Real quickly, Sabrina, what would be your question?
No, I just, I don't have no questions. I just want to know what's going on with my life right now, and if you can tell me anything about. I just had a dream of a black horse last night. I'm just, I don't know. I just need to know what's going on in my life.
What I'm hearing for you, Sabrina, is stay positive. Okay. Before you go to sleep at night, I think some of your dreams in the past have also been a little bit disturbing for you, and that's okay. Dreams are a way of cleansing the unconscious or the subconscious mind. So I would say to you, before you go to sleep at night, just say a little prayer, send a little prayer up. Please protect me this night and protect my soul and my physical being and my auric field, and let me have good dreams. Many times we astral project at night. The soul can leave the body between 11 to 3 in the morning and return. And I think you're doing some astral work. Positivity is very important in one's life. So what we think, we do attract. Like a boomerang, well, goes out, comes back, Sabrina. You are a very good person, and I think you've had a lot of setbacks. I can feel that in life. But try to be strong. Try to be positive, and remember the I am concept. I am happy. I am healthy. I am positive. That if you get into that mode, it flips the coin of negativity.
Right.
Okay, my dear?
Is there anybody that's trying to come through to me?
I have a lady that's not very tall on the left side, which is mother's side, Sabrina. And she, who may have had the cancer, dear?
I have cancer now, and my whole family died of cancer.
Okay.
She had cancer, both of my grandparents.
Yes, I know. This would be maternal grandmother. I know you're worried about your cancer, and she puts her hand on her abdomen and chest. And I do have to say, I'm not a medical intuitive, but I do have to say that things will be arrested and calmed down for you. Just take care of yourself. And I also get a lot of smoke coming in here. So somebody smoked or had respiratory or lung problems.
Yeah, I smoke.
Okay. So please take care of yourself. All right. And as I said to another guest, I'll keep you in my prayers. All right, Sabrina? God bless.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear.
You too. Bye-bye.
Now, you mentioned cancer, and it seems to be either hereditary in this case, but you also had told her to be more positive.
Yes.
Do you believe that cancer could be caused by negativity, holding negativity within the body, or just not being a positive person? Do you think you can attract that to you?
Cancer can be hereditary, but also disease means exactly that.
Okay.
Disease starts with negative emotions many times that are way out beyond the auric field in the etheric world. And they move closer and closer and closer through thought forms. And the last place they cling to or enter is the physical body. So when we have anything in the solar plexus or abdomen, many times we're holding emotions in or we're fearful. So as simple as breaking a leg, John, could even mean that we need to step forward in our life and something's holding us back. So yes, and I have symbols that come up for me.
Okay.
And that's how I knew about the cancer, plus her grandmother told me for her to take care of herself.
Yeah.
Do we have
Very.
time for one
Oh,
more? I love this.
we have. We
I
have.
love your listeners. They're wonderful.
Yeah, we have plenty of calls coming in. In fact, I was going to explain a little bit how that process works. So when they call in the phone number, it's 323-649-8268. The computer will answer the call, and then they'll ask you to record a message. So what's happening is apparently the transcription of some of these these names and questions are getting a little mixed up. So I'm going to go just psychically and start picking some numbers and some calls. So let's go here and go to Karen. And it looks like she is calling out of the country. Karen, are you there from Chile?
Yes.
Hi, can you mute your computer and just listen through the phone? You're on the line with Michele and John here.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. Hi.
And you're calling from Chile?
Yes, from South America.
Well, do you have a question? There's no distance with spirit, Karen.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I haven't, it's just a psychic question, and basically because I haven't had much opportunities, like job opportunities, and I've always, my grandmother passed away 2 years ago, and we were really close, and I always talk to her like she's here with me all the time.
Yes.
I always talk to her, and I ask her like, well, please help me. You're closer to God. Please send me a good job and something, uplift me.
Yes, and
I wanted to know if she can hear me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They hear our thoughts. They're not with us all the time. But where's the M name for you in your family? Like Marie, Mary? It goes back in time.
Marta.
Yes. How does that relate to you? Marta.
Yeah.
How does that relate to you, Karen?
Yeah. She's my grandmother.
Okay, thank you. Is there Catholic in your background?
Sorry?
Is there any Catholic in your background?
Oh, yeah. We're an Italian family, so yeah.
She has rosary beads. All right, let me describe her quickly. She has dark hair. Her name's Marta. She's not very tall. She's saying prayers for you, my dear. She's going over her crystal rosary beads, basically. She wants me to tell you there are some... she also has roses for you. She wants me to tell you... Yes. And she wants me to tell you that you're going to be okay, that she's one of your spirit guides. There are some changes coming up, Karen, but they're good. And someone's going to announce a pregnancy or a baby in family. Not before a whole lot longer. Yes. So fasten your seat.
Oh, my God.
Fasten your seatbelt.
You know what? I had a near-death experience, actually. I had an accident like 9 years ago. And I actually, you're saying to me that she has dark hair and short. I saw her.
Yes.
During my path, I was going into the light, and she told me that I couldn't go through.
Wow.
It wasn't your time.
It's not your time. And
yes.
Yeah, I said, please, can I stay here? Because the feeling, it was obviously heavenly feeling.
Yes.
And she said to me, you cannot go. You have to go back. You still have some things to do. Yeah. And it's really emotional for me because it's an experience that I will never forget. I have it in my mind all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing that you told me that you see that person. I don't know who she is really. Probably it's my grandmother, but my grandmother was blonde. But you tell me about this other lady, I saw her.
This lady, my dear, is from your soul group, Karen. From your soul group in heaven.
Okay.
She's a spirit guide. She watches out for you. She's saying prayers for you, sending prayers down. Like rose petals. I actually see rose petals. And it was not your time. That's true. When it's our time, we make transition. But anyone that's had the near-death experience doesn't want to come back because it's such a beautiful realm of love and light.
Yeah,
but thank you so much for sharing that, Karen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, because I was really, it was a concern for me, like, about the job opportunities. I've been without a job, like, for 8 months.
Yes.
And I was thinking, when this opportunity will come.
Hmm. Yeah, Sorry. There will be good changes for you, my dear. And I'm getting 8 months. 8 to. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's busy on this
Thank you
end.
so much.
They're calling. That's going to be.
They're calling from heaven.
That's
Karen.
good. They're going to be calling you, Karen. That's a sign they're going to be calling you with a job offer. That's what it is.
Yeah, I know. It's a sign. It's a sign.
It's
Thank
a
you
sign.
so
Thank
much,
you.
guys.
I'm glad you got through,
I
hon.
appreciate it.
You got it. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Now, isn't that interesting? Have you
Yes.
known anybody with a near-death experience, John?
I've had one myself. And in fact, we talked a little bit about it on, I don't know if it was the last show or the show before. I was telling James about my near-death experience. And, the interesting thing, I don't know if I got to share it, but when I crossed or felt that I was crossing or had the out-of-body or however, I just became a thought stream. So it validated when I read your book that we were just energy because I had no body. All I could do was, if I would think of a question, it would be answered before I could even get the question out. And the voice that spoke to me was both male and female when it spoke, like Mother, Father, God, or however,
Yes.
or Holy
Androgynous.
Spirit. Yeah, exactly. It was
Yeah.
two voices at once. It was really bizarre. And then there were chimes and really cool, it was just all energy. So it wasn't that I was seeing, but I was hearing,
Yes.
but then there was this period where I entered this, I guess all it was just this big, huge white room. It was nothing but white. And then I felt like there was a cliff. And if I would have crossed over this cliff, then I would have stayed on the other side.
Yes.
But I actually didn't.
It was not your time.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing. We can still, I'm sorry for the interruption.
Oh, it's okay.
We'll get the kinks out eventually.
Yeah.
we can still feel and see and hear.
Okay.
And the famous singer that passed away,
Yeah.
and you know who I mean,
Yeah.
rose above her body and saw an orb, and she heard her name being called. And she said she was really amazed because she still could see her body below, but yet she could see the light above. She could feel emotions,
Yeah.
and she could hear her voice being called.
Yeah.
So just because we shed the physical, the soul is energy, and you not destroy energy.
Right.
So our consciousness is a part of their soul energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I didn't. Well, you're meant to be here, John. We're meant to be working together.
Yeah, I love this work. I really do. It's such an honor. So thank you. Do you want to have? Let's see. Do you want to go to another question really quick? Let's see if we can
Sure,
get
we have
one more
time.
in. Yeah, I think we can. Let's go to Andrea in 909. Andrea.
Hi, Ann.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thank you, my dear. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. And how can I help you?
I'm calling because my grandpa passed away in 2008, and it's been really hard on my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of want to know if he has a message for us.
He absolutely has a message. He likes his chair. I don't know if you still have his chair, Andrea. He had a favorite chair. He had a favorite chair.
Yeah,
that he liked. Pardon?
Yeah, he did. Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
And I hope you still have it because he likes to be around the energy of that room where the chair was. And actually, it's so funny. I'm asking him, "What are you doing in heaven?" And he says, "Nobody's pushing me over here." He says, "I'm relaxed," and he says, "I'm doing what I want to do." And I have to ask you very, very quickly, my dear, did anybody have a glucose imbalance or a diabetic condition?
My grandma?
That's what I thought. He's acknowledging her, actually, your grandmother, which I find very interesting. Is she still on Earth?
Yes, she is.
Would you tell her to take care of herself? Her time's not up, he says, but he acknowledges her diabetic condition. That's interesting. Very interesting.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah, she's always been out of the hospital.
Yes, and she has leg pain, he tells me, and difficulty with the steps. But she has soul contracted to longer life. So therefore,
There we go.
I hope I'm on again because next time the kinks will.
Oh, don't worry about it, Michelle.
Ironed out.
It's all good. You're doing amazing. I'm really
But
just blown
Andrea,
away.
let me real quickly. Who lost a child, honey? Who would have lost a child? Very quickly.
I had I guess it wouldn't be a loss of a child. My mom did when she was younger. I mean, I had an abortion.
Yeah.
a long time ago. But
That's okay, because we had mentioned that earlier, and I'm hearing loss of child, and I think it goes to you instead of your mother. And I hope you've released guilt from that, my dear, because that's a soul choice, and the soul still
Yes.
loves you, and the soul is sending a great deal of love to you. So forgive
Okay.
yourself, release it, let it go, okay?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, take care, Andrea.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Andrea. Wow, Michele, can you believe an hour has flown by?
Oh, John, you're just wonderful to work with. Thank you so much.
We love you. You were amazing. You are amazing.
Oh,
and
thank you.
and a lot of people have been saying, and we can see in the comments here, that they're going to get your book. So
Yes.
yeah, and I totally so it's Living in the Afterlife, Experiences from the Soul Place.
Yes.
Michele Livingston, MichelleLivingston.com. That's one L, okay?
And they can sign up for my email newsletter on my website.
All right.
I do have a email newsletter. So it's been my honor and pleasure. And any closing remarks, John?
Well, we're definitely going to have you back. We're definitely going to have you back.
Yay,
yes,
I would love that.
Yes, and unfortunately, we couldn't get to all the calls. We never can. But I would encourage you just to go online on James' page and read through some of the comments. And if you want to respond to them, that'd be great.
And I'm also on James's website.
Okay, and you also have your own Facebook presence too, because there's a lot of people listening through Facebook right now.
I have a fan page. I'm called The People's Medium.
Yeah.
Then also I have my regular Facebook page.
Okay.
So I'm there a lot. I'd love to talk to some of your listeners and viewers. I really would. Again.
They will love it. They will love it. And, we have the chat room here at ubnradio.com, and you can go in and interact with some of the folks, too. You click on Channel 2, and the chat room will be open as well. So, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you again, Michele.
Thank you. You were wonderful. Thank you, John.
Oh, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And we'll be in touch, okay?
Okay.
Okay, take care, hon.
Bye.